So we're joined today by Lily, who I would very much like to kind of introduce herself and tell us a little bit about why she studied her degree.
I'm Lily, and originally came from London and moved up to Bristol. As cliche as it sounds, I have always had a passion for music and music events.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky, both of my parents are musicians, so I've been exposed to touring and music and the event side of things behind the scenes from a very young age. And it's always inspired me. So kind of ran with that and went off, did my first degree and was nothing to do with this field. And then it still just kind of drew me back and I was like, I need to do this. I just feel like it's right for me. So found an events management course and I was like, Bristol sounds amazing. Applied here and managed to get in, luckily. I've just been doing the events management course and finished now, which is great.
Excellent. So you said you graduated in July, I think?
Yes, graduated this July.
Yeah. Did it all go well? I mean, obviously any degree has ups and downs and challenges and all sorts, but looking back, was it what you wanted, what you expected?
Definitely not what I expected, for sure. I mean, I joined mid-pandemic, so that's a challenge in itself, of course, but it was great. It was a learning curve for sure, and going from a completely like practical course to kind of transitioning that to like part online and part practical by the end of it. It was actually really a big learning curve for me, but it meant that I could take away new skills from it. So doing an online event actually as part of my course was really like interesting actually to like learn the different processes that you would have to go through as opposed to one in person. But no, really challenging, but also I feel great having done it for sure.
And thinking about your time then, what was your proudest achievement in terms of academic studies?
Academic, I mean, I have to say just getting through the course. I mean, motivating yourself every day to kind of get out of bed and actually attend all the lectures and things like that and do the reading. It's difficult when you're just kind of rolling out of bed and your laptop is like 5 feet away from you and it's quite monotonous every day. Yeah, motivating yourself, finding things to make the days a bit more interesting as well. But yeah, getting through that was definitely my proudest achievement for sure. But
well done you.
Yeah, definitely happy with how it's come out.
Excellent. Sure. And you should be really proud of doing, completing any degree is something to be proud of. And what about outside of academia? What's been your proudest achievement?
Well, I was working on a festival for the record label that I was working for, and that was just happened on this Saturday actually. So I'm still kind of coming down from that. But yeah, no, started working with them in January. Was like onboarded to do the like live event side of things, and then they would focus on more like label things. And so yeah, it was bringing that small idea to fruition of like, we want to celebrate the label, celebrate our artists. It was the 7th birthday. So just honouring that basically and making sure that all music genres were covered and everyone had a great time really. Yeah.
What was it like putting your degree into action, I suppose? So you've spent studying and now you're actually doing it. How did that feel?
Do you know what? I was really surprised at how many things I could put into play. For me personally, I thought, okay, there's academia and then there's the actual practical side of events management. But it did shock me at how much the two do cross over. And you think, oh, so-and-so said this in the 1960s, it's not really going to apply to this. But then you go, actually, hang on, they weren't wrong. I can actually relate that to this. And yeah, really applying the kind of methods and theories that I'd learned into play, which just made my life a lot easier, basically.
Well, that's good. That's definitely good that your degree's done that for you.
Exactly.
Did you get much experience of, as you said, you were challenged during the studies in terms of being able to do things, but were you able to run hybrid events and things like that, other things during your studies? Yeah,
so I was quite lucky. In my previous job, I had run an online event before, but that was very kind of like, we were all like walking in a place that we were just like, this is so new to us, we don't know what's going on. This was like smack bang in the middle of the pandemic, and everyone had to adjust, I think, to online events. So that was my first, kind of went a bit iffy, and then came to uni and I was able to really hone in on those skills more, which I was actually very grateful for doing that. That was with St. Paul's actually, with uni. And so we were able to recreate like a Windrush library and honour the St Paul's kind of thing when the carnival couldn't be in place.
Yeah.
So we were able to educate people, and in doing so, we also learned ourselves how to run a very smooth online event that I think people really enjoyed. So definitely something I've learned and I can take away with me for future events for sure.
Excellent. It feels like the world of events has changed a little bit as well in terms of being able to have that hybrid option or offer people who can't attend that opportunity.
Yeah.
And in terms of looking back to when you started university and your expectations and things, what was different? We talked about the pandemic a bit, but were other things different from how you expected them to be?
I mean, the pandemic is the main thing, but when you come to uni, you kind of expect like a freshers or some sort of like, there's a massive social element coming into uni, and that was completely stripped. So I didn't know anyone coming to this uni or Bristol, in fact. So that was pretty grueling, like coming to a city, you're like, oh, don't know anyone, and I can't really go out either. So you kind of go in with this expectation that I'm going to make loads of friends, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have this amazing time. And then you're kind of sat in your room like, oh, I can't really do this. So, but it did encourage me a lot more to be more engaged with my course, engaged with my classmates as well, which was amazing for support throughout the year. So definitely an expectation that I had, and was actually able to kind of mould into something positive for sure.
Good. And do you think you'll miss those colleagues and friends, I suppose, they've become since?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were all there for each other, especially during the dissertation stages where you're kind of like really egging each other on. You're like, come on, this is the last push, you can do it. We had our kind of weekly pub trips just to kind of like keep us all sane. So no, they're a great bunch, and I'm sure I'll take like many memories, and like we'll be friends for a long time for sure.
Oh, that's lovely. And I suppose just looking ahead now, what's next for you? So you've done the festival.
Yeah, the festival, that's all done and dusted. So definitely something in a similar field. Music, as I said, is like my kind of passion. So just bigger and better, like festivals, more live events for sure. And hopefully be able to travel with my work. So go on tour and things like that. Basically just get out and do more events. And hopefully abroad would be the idea.
The ideal. That's amazing. It sounds like you've got lots of big plans, and you know you've got good grounding now as well to go and put those into place. So it's amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us about your experience. It's been really, really lovely.
Thank you so much for having me.